What's your plan to deal with gun violence?
Well, it's first of all dealing with it, with this president hasn't done. And it's really one of the most cynical things around. And that's because, I come from a hunting state, just like Iowa. And I look at these proposals like universal background checks or magazine limits, and I say, does this hurt my Uncle Dick in his deer stand? And it doesn't. And this president, after Parkland, I was seated across from him in the White House because I've been a leader on making sure that convicted domestic abusers can't get AK-47s. That's a bill, by the way, that's recently passed the House and is sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk with 400 other bills that he won't take up for a vote in the Senate. And so I sat across from the president, and I watched and made my points, and then 9 times I kept a piece of paper with hash marks on it. He said he wanted to pass universal background checks. I kept that paper, but he didn't keep his promise. And the next day, he met with the NRA, and he folded. We are dealing with a situation now where the majority of Trump voters are for universal background checks. The majority of hunters are for universal background checks. And there's absolutely no reason to explain why they are folding and not doing this except the NRA. So my plan would be, 1, what can a president do herself without Congress? I have found 137 things, not all related to guns, everything, that a president can do herself without Congress that are legal. And one of them is you can actually close the boyfriend loophole and make sure convicted domestic abusers don't get guns. But the other things you need Congress for. So I would just push it. It's already passed the House. Some of these bills got Republican votes. We've got to win big and win some of these Senate seats to be able to get it done. But the public is with us. A switch went off after Parkland. That's when those kids stood up. And for some reason, as much as the moms and parents did a lot, those kids, when other kids saw those kids, they started talking to their parents, especially boys, and they said to their dads and grandpas, why can't we do this? And it just switched. And you saw Cindy and Abby get elected in the state of Iowa, in part because there were people that said, wait a minute, why can't we do this? And then they went to Congress, and this is democracy in action, and they voted the right way on those bills, and that's how those things passed.